And we are back with the picks and bans for game number 2 in this best of 3 complexity do or die time. They are down 0-1 to Cognitive, taking their time with ban number 1.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of time to bring out the Nemesis ban, actually, and I think we kind of expected that one to come out. They banned it every time, and, well, same goes for Arachne. Why not ban it again?
Indeed, why not just simply ban out the bug? And really, I like the Kali ban. Kali did incredibly well for Cognitive last game, so we will see what happens with that. Circuit ban here, or do you think that Snoopy's gonna risk it?
I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see, and we can play either of the bugs ever. At least I hope not. But I mean, they might pull the cliffhangers earlier. So they just kind of let the Circuit go through and picked up two of their favorite gods without any contestation. But we're going to see Circuit banned away, take the safe approach. It really is incredibly risky, and I don't feel like Cognitive wants to risk anything right now.
Definitely. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Complexity decided to pick up Geb here. Incon, obviously incredibly good on pretty much every single support possible. I've seen him play some very crazy gods as supports and made it work. But Incon didn't... He had a bit of a rough game with Sylvanas last game. So why not pick up Geb, who's one of his favorites, or pick up maybe... Picking up Ares first pick is really never a good option, but they're actually going to hover Thor here because Thor was not picked and lock him in. So they're going to go sort of throwback here, god that we can sort of first made his name on. Very solid. Going to give Sylvanas, though, over to Cognitive, and they are, in fact, going to lock him in. And they are going to pick up Osiris for that most likely solo lane again. Osiris has been working very well for Cognitive, so there's no really real reason for them to get rid of him. Allied is going to lock in Vulcan again. Interesting. I would have liked to have seen a real Hunter here, possibly. Not.
I mean, it works, but I mean, I honestly would like to see a real Hunter with plenty of sustained damage here.
Yeah, I feel like especially the ultimates, the Earthshakers coming out from Vulcan were a little bit lackluster last game, and that's one of the biggest reasons that you pick up Vulcan. I mean, obviously he has amazing push and amazing sustain, but it worries me a little bit, and I wonder, would there be something else that Allied could have picked that would have worked better there? Anyways, Andinster with the pick now for Cognitive.
Apollo. Just take Apollo off the table.
Mid laner option being hovered here on Agni for Andinster. Oh, no, Freya. Are they? Okay,
yeah, we're going to see both the same AD carries again, it seems.
I guess, and I didn't hate the Freya pick, but I certainly thought that Barra could have gotten a little bit more mileage out of another Hunter. Although, this could be a jungle Freya, as Andinster is a very good jungle Freya. So we are going to see Bakasur band out here, and interesting band that means that they have something in mind, although Baka does do reasonably well against Osiris, so there is that.
I mean, he does well against their current, looks like what's going to be the solo laner, and they might have something else in mind. We're going to see a new WoW band coming out as well, and I don't think that Kukulkan's going to get locked in.
I'd honestly, even though some people think that he's totally garbage here, especially due to the nerfs that he's taken, he can do a lot of damage.
I mean, yeah, he works, but he takes so much more effort to get less than the other mid laners, especially like Giannis.
Yeah, definitely. So I do like that Giannis pick up there for, not for Mr. Mackey, mostly going to the mid lane, which Mr. Mackey could be playing, as we did see him change Cyclone Spin.
And here's the moment you've been waiting for.
Here's the question, though. Is this a solo lane Apollo on Cyclone, or is this going to be a solo lane Nox? Is this going to be a mid lane Nox? Ao Kuang being hovered on instead. Cyclone's messing with me. That's really all there can be to it. I think Cyclone Spin is just messing with me. Solo lane Bastet works. Not a huge fan of it personally. I think she works a little bit better in the jungle, as her rotational skills obviously do get damaged slightly as far as solo lane, but she's going to get locked in. So
we've seen it be played by him before.
I've seen Cyclone Spin play a lot of things, so I don't know if we can
Cyclone Spin pretty much play everything. So
yeah, so I like this comp from Complexity. Not a huge fan of Vulcan ADC, but it's not horrible. He obviously knows what he's doing with it, and it gives him great push. And especially if this is a Freya ADC, it works quite well because Freya ADC hurts a little bit from in the early game with her push potential. So Jeff Henla is needing to pick here a jungler or a mid laner. So we're gonna see
a jungler. So Freya again will be the AD carry.
Indeed. So not Not hating it, like I said before, especially as we do not have an Apollo here, so the oddball matchups work out rather well. This gives them an opportunity for some interesting decisions. I like the comp of both of these teams. I feel like they're not the most efficient compositions, but I do think that they will be interesting and they will lead to some very unique team fights that each team has an opportunity to win. I really don't want to give it to either team right now because Complexity's team has a lot of burst, has a lot of control as well, but Cognitive has just as much burst, if not more. If it goes to late game, I have to give it to Cognitive because of Mercury, Freya, Osiris, and Giannis. All four of them do insanely late game.
It's going to be interesting to see. So it should be about 3 minutes, give or take.
About 3 minutes, and we will be right back with the action. This is the First Blood Tournament brought to you by TierMonster.com and hi-rez Studios. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back with the match number 2 in this best-of-3 finals. Cognitive is leading over Complexity 1-0. And we are live with the action, everyone. Game number 2, Complexity down 1-0, so this is do or die time for them, as this is the finals. Complexity in the blue trunks, bottom side of your minimap, left-hand side of your spectator UI. We have Weekend on Thor in the jungle, Cyclone Spin as Bastet in the solo lane. We see Kiki or Not as your mid lane, Nox, Allied as your ADC Hunter, and Incontinentia as your support Geb.
Meanwhile, on this side, we've got Cognitive Gaming bringing out Snoopy in the solo lane as Osiris. Mr. Mickey on Giannis in the middle. Jeff Hindla, your support on Sylvanas. Barracuda, your AD carry on Freya and Andy. Bringing out the Jungle Mercury.
Indeed, I'm very Sorry?
I'm sorry. No, I did not say that. You are
Okay.
going crazy, sorry.
That's fine. I thought you were starting to say something about Kiki, but anyways, gonna see. I'm looking forward to this. I do quite enjoy seeing Nox's in the mid lane. Kiki, one of those players who has shown that he knows how to not only get Nox ahead, but if Nox does start to fall behind, he's done a very good job of making sure that she catches back up. Excuse me. So, it should be interesting to see how this all plays out. Snoopy, once again, going for his aggressive, let me try and steal away this mid-camp strat. Fairly risky, but nothing too horrible here as, well, actually, we're actually going to see Weekend steal away the left side mid-camps. So maybe he should have gotten a little bit more aggressive there. But we are actually just going to see Weekend abusing Snoopy, saying, no, I'm sorry, you don't get these. While Cyclone Spin does hit level 2 off of that, as he has 2 mid-camps to his name, and Kiki or not.
But unfortunately, Kiki's in a little bit of trouble health-wise.
Now, this is true, as he, especially because he... Which start did Kiki do his... No, he didn't. For a second, I thought Kiki had done his purple pot start, which I... Very interesting start, but I've seen it done on Noxus before. We're going to see actually a very, very early rotation coming out from Mercury, as he did here, as Andy does know that Kiki was low. Kiki did pop a health potion, and he will be fine, but still something to note. That Andensur is trying to camp this lane fairly difficult, or fairly hard.
He knows that if you need to pressure Nox early.
Yes.
You need to put her behind, and she's very susceptible to it, so if he can find a good gank, then it'll be really good for his team.
Definitely.
I mean, that's a pretty generic statement, but it's doubly true in this case. He's going to go for a gank in the duo lane. Going to try to find allies in special delivery. Knows he's going to find Incontinentia, actually. Going to pull him right into Jeff Hindle. Jeff Hindle's going to try to drop the roots on him. Going to go for the shock. Going to root himself, actually. Going to go for the banish. Banish going to keep him slowed down right there. Looking for the first blood. Might find it with a dot, but no, it's not going to connect. But here comes Weekend. Going for the spin to win, dealing so much damage with that passive. But here comes the damage. Weekend going to get tossed right back into the pain, and down he goes. Mr. Makey pulling out the first blood. The Barracuda going to get silenced. Almost into the combo right there. Gonna just barely be alive. Wisp's gonna keep him trucking on, and I think they're gonna be fine for now. So they're gonna look for maybe something else. Kiki gonna be in a bit of an awkward spot. Gonna get caught with special delivery. Gonna fall right into the shotgun. Here comes Barracuda from the side. Allied will get banished out right here, trying to find the damage. Andy in a lot of trouble. Portal does come out, bringing Allied into the trouble zone. Kiki will fall, but he drops the 3 on himself. Down he goes. Now Allied and Incontinentia are in trouble, trying to find the damage. But Mr. Makey and Jeff aren't able to close the gap and get the damage. So gonna walk out 1-for-2 trade right there, and Cognitive Gaming pulling out the first lead of the game.
That is a very big trade overall. The fact that, well, Snoopy taking a lead over in the solo lane as well is very big. But the fact that Cognitive was able to get early kills there, and though they was Nox who died for Complexity, she did get an assist. But again, like we said, you need to shut down Nox early if you want to be able to get anywhere with her. So Nox currently only sitting at level 3 at 2.5 minutes in. Should be alright. Kiki just did hit level 4, so he should be just fine. Gonna see red camps being started. Actually seeing Weekend rotate all the way over to the solo lane because, well, the solo lane is being pushed under tower. might actually try and apply some pressure here on to Snoopy. Doing a decent amount of damage, though. Snoopy is level 6, so he should be alright. And we do see Cyclone Spin coming in. Cyclone Spin is level 5, so he's going to come in here, just hit the slow. Actually, the bleed, not the slow, my apologies. And decent amount of damage, but Snoopy should be fine. Gonna see a lot of pressure once again over in this left-hand side jungle near the Gold Fury. Cognitive really wants to make sure that they actually get the mid camps this time compared to the first sets where they did miss out on both of them.
Yeah, just definitely getting off to a good start. Now, Weekend actually going to secure the second set over this. They're going to trade mid camp for mid camp unless Weekend doesn't finish it off soon. They're going to try to come in right here. Going to pop the wall to keep them safe. Might be able to secure this one away, but no, Weekend will actually secure this one. But now he might be in trouble. Going to be forced to teleport away right there. But you can hear the clap coming out of Andy. Andy looking for some trouble right here. Cyclone going to jump right in, dash away immediately because they don't want to get caught out by the Geb right here. Would have been a rough spot to be caught out right there.
Indeed, and Incon looks a little sad. Looked like he thought that he could maybe get something there, but he's just going to stand and flex and be a little sad about that. But that's alright, Incon. You'll get them later, I'm sure. So anyways, we are now 4 minutes into the game. Everybody has their ultimates now, which means that we should really see some pretty significant engagement. Actually going to see a very short kind of missed ultimate there from Andy. Geb Shield misses a little bit there. Beautiful Wrath of Terror there. Massive ultimate coming out from both Kiki and Thor and Geb. Everybody's just getting blown up here. Mr. Mickey does go down. Now Anders in a lot of trouble. Incon is chasing him. Incon gets a nice shockwave there. Jeff Hindley getting blown up a little bit by Kiki. Kiki, however, is very low, so he cannot be too aggressive. However, Weekend and Incon are going to go and try and steal away this speed buff because they do know that Andenster can't really contest this right now, though Snoopy is on his way, and Snoopy might be able to do that. Also, there comes the Giannis through space and time, so they do need to be careful. Weekend now teleporting away, realizing probably not worth it, though they did burn a Giannis ultimate, which is a very nice thing indeed.
Yeah, gonna be able. I mean, the cross time wasn't really wasted. I mean, it brought about a great rotation. It made him realize that I can't really fight this one out, and forced him away from doing anything cheeky. So I'd say it was honestly worth blowing the ultimate right there, especially considering it's cooldown.
Definitely worth blowing the ultimate, but at the same time, it's one of those things where at least they didn't just force me out. There's something that's on cooldown. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
we can. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse, but as I think it went in that ultimate use went in Cog's favor. Right?
Oh, definitely. So anyways, with that said, we're now 5 minutes in, so let's go ahead and check our graphs. Experience difference under 1,000, so not really worth anything. Gold actually 200 in favor of Cognitive, which is really just that first blood advantage. So Cognitive, it's really an even game right now. Everybody is fairly even. So nothing too spectacular to report, though we do see Definlo very much beating out Incontinentia as far as Midas boots, as Incontinentia has not even gotten back yet to buy them, while we did just see Jeff go back to base and buy full tier 3 Midas boots.
That is kind of nice, actually.
We actually just saw Incon go back and do the same thing, so Incon is behind by about 10 ticks, which is not significant. I mean, it's a little bit, but nothing. It's not like he's off by a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock him for that.
Yeah, so it's left-hand side of this mid lane. We're going to
actually see a bit of a fight here outside the mid lane. Incontinentia trying to find something great. Geb Shield does keep Weekend taking too much damage. Now Incontinentia going to pop his rollout, looking for Mr. Makey. Makey just going to tuck to the side right there and be just safe. And Incontinentia just going to move towards the lane and be able to kick us away. But moved away from the mid camp, and it's probably going to end up giving up this left side mid camp, but they can claim this right side. When they got a few seconds, Weekend will get caught out right here. Great Wrath of Terror will take him down. They're going to take Weekend away from this fight. No, he's going to teleport away. Barracuda going up for the sky. Cross space in time will come out as well. Going to miss his target. Portal comes across. Going to run away, and down he goes. Mr. Makey will find Weekend. At the same time, Kiki or not will fall in the back of this fight. Now they're going to force Cyclone Spin out as well, and this is going to be a Gold Fury possibly.
I would not be surprised at all to see them go for the Gold Fury here. Though they do not have a Hog 3 available, and they also did just burn their hogs on the cats.
Alright, that's true. That's true.
They can
so
still
get
get
some
some
pressure something. And the mid camps did not go down on the right side because Complexity was forced to respond to that fight, so actually can walk away with those mid camps.
Indeed they can. So really at this point, 2-5 in favor of Cognitive. Cognitive doing very well for themselves here. Starting to shut down Nox just a little bit, doing a very good job of it indeed. Cyclone Spin has been having a little bit of a hard time here as well against Snoopy. Snoopy just knows exactly how to play Osiris against a solo laner, or excuse me, not a solo laner, against a physical solo laner. So if Complexity were to win this game and take it to a third game, they might want to consider putting Cyclone on a magical god and trying to sort of force Snoopy to change it up a little bit. But That would then, of course, tip things off, and they would probably need to change to a physical hunter. Over in the dual lane, we do see a gank coming out here, but Barracuda is fine. Actually gets saved by the Tectonic Rift wall coming out from Weaken, as it blocked Allied and Weaken off from that engagement. So we do see Giannis in the Gold Fury pit dropping a ward, but that's really all that he's going to be doing, as he has plenty of minion farming to do. We also do see Andenster hanging out here, applying a little bit of pressure, but nothing too significant just yet. Surprised he didn't go for that red buff, but then again, a kill is probably worth more than that right now. Andy getting tapped out, a lot of damage, gets silenced. Oh, just not able to get his ultimate off in time, and Weaken gets that kill. That is a huge kill right there. Actually going to see an ultimate coming out here from Giannis. Giannis going in deep. Let's follow him over. Does not matter. Actually, oh! Did he hit?
Yep, yeah, he did. He's gonna rotate right into the fight as well. Gonna get a double kill right there, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was a snipe across space and time.
Wow. I just was like, okay, let's follow him over and see what he does, and then I see it pop up on my screen.
We've seen some million-dollar shots today. I think this is another one of them.
Yeah, that really is. That was insane. Beautiful ultimate there coming out from Mr. Mickey on the Giannis. And now we're going to see if we can try and retaliate a little bit here, getting lucky, or not lucky necessarily, but knowing just about when these should be respawning, and intuitively does get them. It's going to hog and take away that speed buff, which is very nice. And it's actually going to ultimate again. Let's see, second or third ultimate we've seen from Andy that hasn't quite done the trick. So Andenser's having a bit of a rough time here, surprisingly enough, even though he is in... Actually, now he's just behind the opposing jungler. But Andy's 1-1 and 2. Not having a horrible slash line, but he seems to just be a little bit off on his Mercury play right now.
And at the same time, they're able to secure most of the objectives they need in these fights. And, well, they're finding the mid camps. They're finding the buffs. So you can't really fault them for that.
I'm not faulting him for that.
He's had some awkward ultimates, yeah, I'll agree.
That's just what I'm saying.
His objective play has been fairly good. I mean, his objective play has been good, as usual.
Indeed. So anyways, we're going to see a little bit of pressure coming out again across the board. Solo laners are going to be getting their buffs. Cyclone Spin, not quite sure where he's going, trying to rotate around. Cognitive knows he's there. They've got wards all over the place, so I'm not quite sure where he thinks he's going. And more importantly, though, Cognitive knows that Snoopy can rotate around as well and try and catch him out wherever he is going. Not sure if Snoopy really wants to try and engage here, but he can. He's a level ahead. Does miss on both of on his sickle and his flail, but he's not going to really lose anything beyond a little bit of mana and some cooldowns, which should be regenerated by the time he gets back to lane. Mid camps do go in favor of Cognitive, and we're going to see Andenser actually get silenced out here, coming out from Kiki, and that should be the end of this engagement as Weaken is rotating over and Cognitive is pinging him out.
They're gonna ping him out, but maybe not gonna find. They actually might catch somebody here, but gonna opt to back away from this. Jeff is looking for a pull. Might find something, but probably not. Great wall does come out. Gonna hit Andy. Double tap, deals so much damage. Popped immediately right there, and down he goes. And they're gonna look for a little bit more on the back of this fight. Might find something, but probably not gonna find them. But what a kill right there! So much burst coming out of Nox.
Well, that was
and
her
Weaken
ultimate
right there. Yeah, that was Weaken dealing the double tap. That was Nox popping her ultimate. And that was Nox tapping him with the her 3 right there.
Yeah,
that was dead.
It was beautiful.
You're dead.
Lots of damage. We're going to see Giannis coming around and popping his ultimate as well, trying to do some damage, but we're going to see, actually going to see Incontinency going deep, forcing a Barracuda into ultimate as well. Bear comes down though and automatically gets Cataclysm and Shockwaved up. We're going to see Mr. Mackey dropping his portal just to sort of prevent, oh, beautiful port there into Incon. Oh, Andenser gets the kill with the ultimate. There we go, Andy. The Redemption ultimate has returned. And now we're going to see Allied and Weaken backing off here. Now 4 to 8 at 11 minutes in, experience and gold both in favor of Cognitive, but not insanely
not
so.
Massively so. Yeah.
No.
They're further ahead than they were last game at this point. But
slightly.
It's still very much anybody's game. Definitely, and at the same time, Gold Fury hasn't really been taken yet, so it's still an option.
That's really the thing that I love about seeing these top tier teams is that it's really anybody's game, even up to probably 10,000 in both gold or experience behind, because the teams are just that good at being able to work any little advantage they can make, whether it be, you know, somebody being just out of position or somebody just getting the perfect gank off. And so, we're also seeing them do a very good job of sharing experience everywhere across the board on both sides, for that matter. We're seeing a double Warlock Sash once again on the side of Complexity. A little bit late, not horrible because they did go for boots first, but I really, especially in the dual lane, I would have liked to have probably seen more of a Warlock Sash rush onto Allied. As yes, the boots are nice for him, but it puts him behind, especially because Freya has gone Hasten Fatalis, Shoes and Magi. So Barracuda is going to be ahead as far as the way that Freya works, Freya is going to be getting most of her damage off. Of course, her next spike will be when she completes her Choose of the Magi. Also, we're going to see in the mid lane,
you're not getting caught right there by Andy. Andy's doing a lot of damage. Aegis does pop right into Weaken's great ultimate from Thor. Jeff Hindla will drop his ultimate down right there, but Weaken will finish off Mr. Makey right there. Now Andy's in a bit of an awkward spot. Hindla will finish him off with the dot, and now Snoopy will deal some damage over on the side. Gonna get the kill, so will Allied fall to Barracuda. Now they've tried to turn around. Weaken taking so much in from Andy right there. Andy showing them why Mercury's power was ult a little too short right there, though, as Weaken does teleport away. Now there's to Incontinentia. Incontinentia gonna drop his shield on himself. Just gonna be trying to stay alive, but we'll get pulled right back into action. Great Cataclysm disconnect right into the great wall of Thor. Gonna get pulled away, tossed into his own wall. Gonna fire the double tap. Gonna find the kill in the backswing right there as he goes down beyond the grave. Now Geb is gonna smack Jeff Hindla away, but here comes Barracuda trying to find the slow. He will drop his shield to save himself, and around the corner he goes, and what a fight right there. Cognitive coming out just barely ahead of that, I feel.
I'd say very significantly ahead, as they only really lost one person, and we're going to see...
Yeah, they only lost one person, and now they're going to find that gold fury is... Oh, here comes Mr. May.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is a very much a win for them, as yes, Geb is there, but he cannot get there in time. And so that is the first gold fury of the game at 13 minutes 41 seconds into the game with a very significant spike. Now we're sitting a gold difference of over 4,000. Same thing with that experience difference, and so now Cognitive is very much hopping into that driver's seat and saying, alright, we've got this game, let's just... step, and they should be good. And that's really exactly what Cognitive needs to do, is they need a good fight to take their small lead and make it into a large lead, and now they're just going to be forcing a fight in another 4 minutes for another Gold Fury, and then another 5 minutes after that, probably another one, if not a Fire Giant. So we're going to see that happen a lot. We're going to see nice wall out there from Weekend, trying to apply pressure onto Andenster, but Complexity has to do something perfectly here to really get anything. For example, a very nice Nox ultimate there onto Andenster. However, Andy is going to get under tower and be fine. Yes, he's going to take another hit, but he's under tower, so he's relatively safe.
Yeah, Mr. Makey was there as well, so they couldn't really dive him under tower. And great show of presence there by him, and now he's going to try to find a great wall of Thor just coming out. Andy gets popped for a lot of damage again. He's got to be really careful. He's clearly going to go for the dash here. Gonna get healed up by Geb, by Sylvanas as well. Geb can't quite heal. That would be a little broken.
It'd be very broken. Anyways, over on the solo lane, we are going to see the first tower of the game going to the way of Cognitive as well, as we do see Cyclone Spin doing his best to try and take on Snoopy. Snoopy forcing him to leap away. And this should be the end of that fight, unless Cyclone Spin feels so enamored as to try and go back in. Left-hand side, we see Weekend trying to go for a gank or something. However, there are two members of Cognitive not too far behind as well. He's just simply going to rotate over to his speed buff, most likely. Jeff Hindla counter-warding in some very interesting places, going very deep with his sentry wards here, because Cognitive wants to own this side of the map. Actually dropping a regular ward right there. Weekend now taking a decent amount of...
They're going to own it, as Jeff Hindla is in the middle of this. Jeff Hindla, Weekend going up into the air, going to try to land where he wants. Snoopy going completely hard on the Kiki right there. Thor coming crashing down any minute now. Going to crash onto nobody, actually, as he tries to get Snoopy, but not going to find it. We can hear the clapping from Andy. Andy waiting for his opportunity. Razzle Terror doesn't mind the Weekend. Weekend be spinning to win right now, and here comes the Cataclysm blocking down Snoopy and Hindla. Hindla not able to find much of what he needs right there. Now Snoopy's trying to duel back on Incontinentia. Incontinentia staying alive right now, looking for the ultimate, not going to find anybody. Incontinentia does fall right there to the Freya ultimate. Now they're going to go on to Cyclone Spin. Cyclone Spin going to pop his beats and run away from this. Cats do come out, going on to Andy right there. Andy going to have the cats going on to nobody there. Barracuda almost falls him, but Andy will find the kill on the Cyclone Spin. Now Noxel did catch onto a lot right there. Kiki trying to stay alive, going to pop the stun any moment now as he picks a kill onto Andy. Double kill right there for Nox right there. Now here comes Mr. Makey trying to find it. Gets hit by the silencer, so he can't really hit anything right there. Barracuda trying to find an auto attack, but maybe not going to find the need. And there's Kiki or Na being an absolute monster on Nox.
And that is exactly the power of Nox, especially with the most recent buff, where her ultimate is now applied to up to 3 targets. It applied to both Andenster and to Snoopy. And so that meant that Snoopy saw, okay, I'm ulted, I can't use any abilities, so he just tried basic attack her down, and he almost killed her, but the problem was is that second, or at the very end, it is guaranteed to apply a second time for the same amount of damage as, of course, the first, meaning that you get stunned for a second, and you're stuck under tower, taking tower shots, and, I mean, you're going to die when you're that low. It's just an unfortunate fact of the way it works.
I honestly don't think there's much of a way out if they tried to go for that dive. He tried to get the damage he needed, but couldn't find it and ended up falling. And even if he would have died to the Nox there, so I don't know if it was worth it trying to dive that Nox.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you're okay, I think I have the damage for it, and just didn't quite, and it's unfortunate, but big fight for Complexity. Rather significant in experience, not quite as much in gold. They still are behind by about 3,500, but they're only down by about 3,800 now, almost a little over 1,000 experience regained in that overall engagement and the ensuing experience gathering in minions and such. So we're going to see Cyclone Spin running into Andinster here. Don't think he's going to try and engage, especially as he does not have... actually, Cats did just come back up, so he might want to try, but I don't know if it would really be the best decision right now for him. In the mid lane, seeing a little bit of pressure coming out from both teams. But again, they don't want to try and do anything with the Gold Fury coming back up in just under a minute. Cognitive is not set up to try and go for a Gold Fury right after this, and Complexity also recognizes that they can't afford to lose a fight here and then risk either losing the Fire Giant or the Gold Fury, depending on how many of them do die.
I honestly see both teams playing kind of safe, as they're just mostly set up around the Gold Fury. Not likely to be the Fire Giant, not quite yet at least, but I definitely think both teams are going to set up around the Gold Fury, try to heal up, ward up, buff up, and just be ready to fight as soon as it's time.
I definitely do agree with that.
We're still got about a couple seconds on the Gold Fury. So.
Gold Fury will be up in 15 seconds or so, so we're going to see probably one last really big set of pushes in the middle and dual lane as they try and get stuff really pushed back up. Cyclone's been hanging out over in the solo lane. I think he recognizes that right now he's having a hard time contributing to teamfights, just the way that the Cats have been really not... Cats get applied, people beads, they sprint, they hog, and it's gone. And so... I think he's realizing, okay, if I can apply some pressure, I might be able to force one or two people over here as well, meaning that I can actually be more of a contribution by forcing them all over here instead of being in this team fight and hoping the Cats actually decide to tag the right person, as the Cat logic is seeming to be a little bit finicky these days. So we are going to see Snoopy back off here, and all of Cognitive actually starting to back a little bit. So Incon is going to do his best to try and beat Jeff at the counter warding game, and Incon does in fact win that fight. But at this point, we see 4 members of each team near the Gold Fury. Question of who wants to bite first.
Yeah, we're going to see Andy take a lot of damage actually from the Thor poke, but when you have Jeff Hindlove playing Sylvanas on your team, you're going to be healed up quite quickly, as the Gold Fury did get hit right there, but going to be making her way back to her own pit. Now we're going to see Snoopy trying to apply some pressure on Incontinent. Incontinent is taking a lot of damage actually from this Osiris pressure right here. Going to be forced to roll out right into the leap. Lord of the Afterlife going to stop right in front of him. Here comes the attempted stun. Going to try to find a weakening curse. Does come out, but Snoopy going to get the kill. Here comes the cross space in time, hitting his own teammate, but not really going to deal that much damage to him. Ally going to drop the Earthbreaker. Going to hit not nearly enough. Skiki is going to fall to the dot from the Wrath of Terror right there. Thor is up in the sky looking for some pressure right there. Barracuda up in the air as well, looking for Ally. Finds the shot on the Ally to finish him up. He's going to crash right on a Barracuda. Barracuda going to do his best to stay alive. Turns and tries to fight him off. Going to get the back swing and teleport away, actually. Now Cyclone's in the danger zone. He's going to try to dash around. Going to get Andy really low. She gets tossed right back into the action. Going to try to duel this one out. Andy almost wins that one, but will fall down. But now they're going to go for the Gold Fury. And Snoopy is very low, but very, very ready to fall.
As Snoopy had just gotten his chin size in line, meaning that he was ready to shred through anybody that gets in his way, and he did just that. Geb did respawn though, so Incontinentia has an opportunity to steal this, though there it goes 25% and down away. That, as well, Jeff knows how to press his buttons and get his hogs, as he probably spends many hours a day just practicing his hog technique.
Yeah, I think honestly, yeah, pressing your buttons is one of the biggest skills of Jeff and you know, press that up.
Anyways, with that said, we are going to see both of these mid-camps going over to the way of Cognitive. So after that total engagement, we're going to see a 6,000 gold lead and a 7,000 experience lead, which is huge. You see Cyclone's been trying to apply some pressure in the mid lane, but it's just not really doing what he needs it to. We're not getting enough damage off, I should say, and really they can just back off and be fine. Cyclone's been needs to try and apply some pressure in the solo lane, I think. He needs this tower. I think that would help him out a lot. I mean, it would help out the entire team, obviously, as far as global gold is concerned, but I think that that tower is applying a little bit of pressure in his mind of he knows that he's lost a tower and his opponent has not yet. In the duo lane, we do see a bit of an engagement going here between Allied, Incontinentia, and Barracuda. However, Barra is level 18 Freya. I'd be a little scared if I was Allied.
Yeah, Freya actually scales quite nicely with levels as well. We're going to see Yana securing his own red buff right there as Mr. Makey. Going to walk away with his own red buff, and Yana's red buff is an absolutely terrifying force of one-shottiness.
Especially, he's gone for a very interesting, it's full cooldown, and then he's got Book of Thoth, so he's got a lot, he's going to have a decent amount of damage, or actually already does, especially he's already close to that game. Over the dual line, though, we're seeing Barracuda and Logical goes up right into his ultimate just in time, and will probably, we can actually perfect use of his beats there. Barracuda actually accidentally takes the through space and time and dies because of it. However, there comes a beautiful Wrath of Terror there onto We can just go down to Mr. Mackey actually through the portal, and now we're seeing sort of a disengage, as really the damage isn't there to do anything more to Jeff, as it's only allied and Incon against Mr. Makey and Jeff.
Yeah, both sides maybe trying to look for something. Did get the return kill for and
hang on mid lane.
Kiki's in so much trouble. Probably gonna fall down here if he can't do his trade. Looking for that last shot. Andy will find it, but the minions might be just enough. No, they are not, as he does fall down. But Snoopy gotta run for his life. Pops low to the afterlife. Might die to the tick. No, he does not. He's just safe and sound right now. And that's gonna be a good win for Cognitive Gamer right there, escaping with their lives and get some kills. But I think Cyclone Spin wants to get some kills as well. Gonna leap right onto Mr. Makey. Gonna drop the bleed onto him, but not nearly enough, especially with a heal ticking from Jeff Hindler right there.
Indeed, so it was crazy because on my screen, as far as if you looked at Snoopy's name, it had Snoopy completely grayed out as though he had actually died.
I mean, he was essentially dead, but you know, Lord of the Afterlife can just walk away.
Anyways, with that said, we're going to see buffs being taken now by Complexity. They're doing their best to try and sort of capitalize while they can. Obviously, not feeling comfortable enough to try and get the Fire Giant, especially as it's on the other side of the map. Finally, gonna see Cyclone's been trying to apply some more pressure back in his old hometown of the solo lane, but really not seeing a whole lot of pressure from him yet. He's going to back here as he is completely out of mana. Snoopy will be in the area, and Snoopy will keep pretty much all of those minions from doing much damage to the tower at this point. Now 24 minutes into the game, still sitting at similar numbers that we did last time, a little bit over 5,000 gold, a little bit over 7,000, both again in favor of Cognitive.
Both in favor of them, and they're setting. It's a pretty nice lead to have at this point. They're just looking for that opportunity to really use that lead, and there isn't really much they can do outside of wait for a gold tree, or maybe try to take the Fire Giant, as the Fire Giant is on the table now. You're gonna try to find Incontinentia right there. Gonna get him with the root, but he's gonna cleanse it immediately. So if they can catch Incontinentia and get a kill on him, I think they go for Fire Giant easily.
Oh, definitely. We've seen a lot of warding coming out from both teams, and some very, very deep sentry wards coming out from Cognitive, which I like to see. It's expensive, but it's oftentimes worth it, especially when you are ahead. So we're going to see Incontinentia going very deep here. Could be very risky. Jeff's going to throw a root and miss everybody except for a minion, I think. So he's going to miss the pull as well, which is unfortunate, but you miss 100% of the shots you never take, so you might as well take one every now and then. So we see Incon running back over to try and ward, and now he's in some trouble as Anister has found him. Incon has shielded himself, but he shielded himself right before the root. Ally does kill Barracuda, though, in the middle lane, which is very good for him. And now they're going to try and find something else. We can applying some pressure into the jungle. And he finds Jeff Hindley. He actually stuns out on Stoopy, but hits the wrong side of the wall, which means that he will apply 0 damage. The Allied actually going to be backfiring, just try and clear out the wave a little bit, but not really having a whole lot more being applied just yet. Kiki does just miss getting pulled as well. Andenstar, not quite sure where he is going just yet. He's full health, relatively full mana. Looks like he's trying to bait out a fight with Weaken here, as he is 2 levels ahead of the Thor, and Thor is out of mana, or half out of mana. Nice beats coming out of Andy right now. Applying some damage, channeling the ultimate, misses again completely, and now Weaken is going to teleport away and be alright. Allied's ultimate does miss as well, and they're trying to just heal up a little bit off of those back harpies, and Snoopy is working on clearing out this buff for Andinster. Andy does get knocked up, but the buff is his to take as soon as he gets it.
The turnaround here is here comes Jeff Hindler ready to fight some. Lord of the Afterlife did come out right now, but Allied barely gonna dodge away, singed by Mr. Makey's across space and time. Thor going up into the air right now, we're gonna shadow some mountains. Makey pops in Aegis a little bit early. Snoopy gonna get crashed down on top of, but not gonna get finished off there. Actually, he expected his team to finally get the damage at the end, but not able to find it. That's gonna be a kill and a retreat coming out of Cognitive Gaming.
That is huge. Now, at least for Complexity, they were able to put enough damage there. Actually, we're going to see Incontinentia going on to Andy, and Andy says, okay, you want to fight? Let's go. Level 19 versus a level 15. That's huge. Yes, it's a tanky Geb, but there's 3 members here. He's going to go down. And
yeah, I don't know if you can outbox Mercury here. You're going to get the major look and going to finish him off there, but definitely took a lot of health off from Cyclone Spin. Can maybe make this work, but we do have the heal from Hindle. Hindle just going to keep zoning him away, and Frey going to start the Gold Fury, actually, so yeah, Cyclone Spin just going to walk away from this one, knowing he can't really find what he needs.
So we're going to see some counter warding. Once again, over the Gold Fury, now 26 minutes into the game. Gold Fury, always important, but 1,500 gold starts to mean a little bit less, especially when each team is worth almost 60,000 gold. So, important, but not massively. So we're actually going to see through space and time be pop here, and it looks like they are going to try and burn the Gold Fury down. And really, when you're ahead by 4,000 gold, you might as well be ahead by 1,500 or by 5,500 gold. And more importantly, it stops Complexity from catching back up.
Yeah, at the same time, Kiki, you're not going to get a great silence, but Cognitive Gaming still going to secure the Gold Fury, and they're going to look for a little bit something else off the back. So Earthbreaker does come down, going to miss everybody right there. Now Kiki, you're not getting dueled by Snoopy right there. Snoopy just in the fight right now. Here comes Weekend crashing down from the skies. Kiki does pop his age, just gonna try to stay alive right into a portal, though Allied will fall into it as well. He's gonna miss like he falls, though. Barracuda picks up a double kill. Now Andy going after Weaken. Weaken in a lot of trouble. Mage Look does come out, goes for the stun, goes for the beads, not gonna find what he needs. Surrender vote has started, but I don't know if it's gonna go through, but that's a big swing for Cognitive right now.
A huge swing for Cognitive. Cognitive went from relatively solidly in the lead to very much so in the lead, as they now have a... You know, we're sitting over 10,000 experience, which is about that number before. That is normally the big one. They're starting to really apply some significant pressure to the lanes, and their goal difference is such that they are going to be about a full item ahead now of the boys in blue. So we're going to see over in the duo lane, Cyclone Spin is doing his best to try and slow down these three members, but Snoopy is low, but he's not low enough. Cyclone Spin's cats do tag onto Snoopy, but if Snoopy does go down here, I think that would be worth it. They can take down the tower. They do take down Cyclone Spin. Snoopy does pull the aggro to that tower, unfortunately, but a one-for-one trade they probably think is relatively worth right now, especially as they do have a wave of minions on their way.
And now Snoopy and Mr. Mickey are trying to take this tower away, but I don't think Snoopy has enough health to take it. But no, that mid tower may not be so lucky, as the rest of Complexity will come rushing down to its aid, and they're going to save the tower's life for now, but they did secure the mid tower as well.
Indeed they are, and so at this point, we're looking at 3 tier 2 towers for Complexity. They're all that are standing. While over on Cognitive, they have 2 full lanes that have barely been touched. So that's huge for Cognitive. They have a lot of power, they have a lot of control, and more importantly though, they've got Complexity a little bit worried. They've got their tier 2 mid lane tower, which is at half health, and they have these 2 tier 2 towers on either side that are sitting there and feel a little bit exposed. While for Cognitive, yeah, their solo lane doesn't have any towers left in it, but they've got 2 lanes that have full towers left in it, meaning that they only have 1 Phoenix really all that exposed. They have 4 towers that you have to go through to expose all of their Phoenixes.
Yeah, they have quite a bit left to walk through. I mean, they still have 1 Phoenix exposed, though, like you said, so I think they can pressure that well enough. But it's Fire Giant side, so it'll be good, but it's not going to be as much pressure as you want me to do. So I'm trying to rotate around Allied, and Kiki or not are going to make their way through here. But Barracuda's coming in from the backside. Thor going up into the air as well, going to try to crash down. They're going to spot out Barracuda. Probably going to come down on top of him any second now, and there they go. Going to crash down, not close enough. Incontinentia is going to ride the Thresh Express. There is no Thresh. They're going to come down on the Barracuda. Barracuda in the sky, trying to find the damage. Weaken goes low, but can pop his beats to get that extra CDR. Kiki will find the kill right there now. Allied actually will fall on the backside. Andy with a great one to Kiki, though. Kiki pops his ages to try to stay alive for a little longer. Will end up falling down with Lord of the Afterlife being popped. Great wall of Thor coming down as well. Not going to find enough damage on the Andy, though, and neither will Snoopy, and they're going to walk away with a tower as well. But at the same time, Cyclone Spin doing what Cyclone Spin does best and split pushing down the left side.
Indeed, he is. I'm going to jump over there and see how Barracuda handles this. They are both level 20 at this point. However, Cyclone Spin is interesting build, not a horrible one, especially for taking towers. Transcendence a little bit late, but then a Titans and a Jotuns does do very nicely. Once again, Titan's Bane, or not, excuse me, not Titan's Bane, Transcendence, more about simply having it and having your passive mana up compared to actually the stacks. Cyclone Spin also actually stealing away the red buff here, does actually just steal it away and actually decides to wear it himself. However, Incontinentia in a little bit of trouble as he is in a 1v2. Nice wall there, going to only hit once on the Andister though from Thor. Now Weaken though in a lot of trouble. Andy popping his beads, going to be throwing into the wall, and that is going to be a dead Weaken. Now Jeff is trying to continue to save. Jeff still full health but low mana. Incontinentia will be getting out of there, and now Cyclone Spin is in this engagement. I'm not sure if he wants to. Oh, that was a Janus ultimate that hit him in the back for about 75% of his health.
Cinch the hair off that cat.
Yep, luckily for that cat, he still does have 9 lives, and now we're going to see a gold, or excuse me, not gold, for a Fire Giant being started here, as well. There are 5 members alive for Cognitive, only 4 for Complexity, and one of them is incredibly low as well. Though we're going to see Incon come in. Incon is low. He needs to do his best. Cognitive takes the Fire Giant anyways, though Incon is in a lot of trouble. Allied takes on Andy. Barracuda kills Andister, however, or excuse me, kills Incontinentia. And now we see Allied going down as well. Now we're going to see Nox doing her best to try and take something out here, but Kiki is in a lot of trouble against Barra, and he goes down as well. Double kill for Barracuda. Now we see Cyclone Spin, the only man left alive. 10 seconds on Weaken.
I don't know if it's going to fly much against a Fire Gianted up team right now, especially Cognitive. Going to try to flank, but I don't know if he has the damage that he needs. They can just push past the minions and not really care. Cyclone Spin going to come in from the backside. I was like, going to try to jump onto Mr. Makey. They do know this is coming, but Mr. Makey takes so much damage. Sword comes crashing in from above. Weaken dealing a lot of damage as he spins to win. Not going to find enough CC with his wall, and the Phoenix will fall down here. Cyclone Spin applying a lot of pressure. Jeff Hinla might fall down. Bleed will connect. One more tick should do it. Not going to find it as the heal does come out, and Jeff Hinla survives with the skin of his teeth right there, actually. And probably going to lose a little bit of skin off his back, actually.
Oh, that's a lot of skin off his back. That was just
A lot of bark off the tree,
is he gonna get it? And he very calm, very collected, just knew to kind of dodge and everything else. And it was a very good job. They're actually using the minions to body block the cats. Very good job there, but very good hold from Complexity as well. No one from Cognitive did die. So Andy did, of course, die right as the Fire Giant was felled, meaning that Andenster does not have Fire Giant. However, 4 members of Cognitive do, which is more than enough. Also, 1 Phoenix down. However, it is Fire Giant's side, but it is also the same side that is the exposed Phoenix on their side, meaning that it's actually the best side for Cognitive to be applying pressure to first, because it is the least safe for them. So those fire minions are going to be that pressure that will keep them safe for now.
And we're going to see a gold free actually being attempted. Andy going to be the first man to attempt it. Great wall of Thor. Cataclysm comes out, catches out 2 people right there, but Andy going to pop the beads immediately. Going to finish off that order there. Cross space on time will come out, allowing the team to rotate around. Here they come from the backside. Cognitive going in deep. Andy and Illogical going to look for the ultimate. Going to hit. Actually going to deal a lot right there as he gets out of the fight and locks somebody down. And they're going to make his way out of here. And they're going to turn to Kiki. Kiki should be alright unless Barracuda can get the banish. Yes, he does. Barracuda lands the banish, starts applying. No, he's just going to let him go as Kiki did DC, it seems. So, good swordsmanship there out of Barracuda.
I say, indeed, Kiki has DC. Kiki, of course, when you disconnect, you're sort of, you stand there until...
You're in limbo for a bit.
You're in limbo for a moment.
Walking back.
And then
so,
you are just...
Definitely...
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta applaud the swordsmanship from Barracuda right there.
Yep, so they are going to continue to apply pressure. Anyway, Cyclone Spin is going to kill Andenster, though, in the backline. And now I would expect to see a pause coming out here from Complexity as their Phoenixes are being pressured right now. Or maybe they just think that, you know, he should be back any moment and it's not worth the pause time. But really, they need something here. Cyclone Spin has come back into the fight, but it is still a 3v5 right now. Or 3v4, my apologies, as we do see a dead Andenster right now. But... I don't really know what they can do. Cats are online, but Cats have not been doing a whole lot of work. There's been a lot of work, but it's always been very close. And Continentia in a lot of trouble right now as the ultimate coming out and just not going to do much good there from Ally. Barracuda is going to kill on Continentia, and now they're applying pressure on the second Phoenix. That is now 2 Phoenixes down, 2 waves of fire minions that will be barreling in here. Order Titan taking some damage. Kiki or not has, in fact, reconnected to the game now. Possibly still, there we go, he's back into this game. Allied low, but Allied should be able to, ooh, nice banish there. Actually forced the beads. Unfortunate, as obviously there was no more pressure we can see, but just in case, we're going to see Snoopy getting ulted on by Kiki, just sort of more forcing him to get back than anything else. Going to see Cyclone Spin there trying to apply pressure and keep the minions off of that Titan, but the Titan is taking a surprising amount of damage. It is resetting, meaning that it will keep healing back up, but it's still difficult.
It's still taking a lot of damage, and they're going to be able to secure this tower most likely, as Snoopy deals a lot of damage, and Jeff Hembley a little difficult to take down with the tower, and that tower is just going to be absolutely shredded, and down it goes. And now that last Phoenix is exposed for Complexity.
Indeed, and now at this point, Complexity needs to hope that they can have a very solid hold here if they can come back and win this. They are down 17-35, and 2 Phoenixes down, though, more importantly. Builds are almost complete on Cognitive. Seeing a Soul Reliquary coming out onto Giannis, meaning that he's going for the Book of Thoth and Soul Reaver combo, which is going to be very, very painful indeed, after having a Obsidian Shard and a Rod of Tahuti already completed as well. That's a terrifying Giannis, but it looks like we're actually going to see Cognitive go for the next Fire Giant before they go and try and finish this game up, unless they want to go for a little bit of a subway train ride on the Giannis Express, which is also an option, although I
think they want to just take it safe and sound for this one. I mean, actually see Andy going deep for this one. Kiki are not in a bit of danger, but he's going to be forced to dash away. Ultimate from Kiki did come out. Didn't connect onto Andy, unfortunately, and now Weekend going to back away, and Kiki missing an ult.
Indeed, so it looks like we are going to see Cognitive starting up this Fire Giant, and really, they have enough pressure that they can do that. And we see Snoopy actually just 1v2ing Allied and Continentia right now, not taking a whole lot of damage because he's built a Bulwark of Hope, a Witchblade, and a Runeforged Hammer. Like, you're gonna have a hard time killing him with that. And Continentia going in a little bit late. He's probably gonna go down here as he is in a 1v3, getting chunked very hard. Nice 3-man Cataclysm, though, just gonna keep him busy a little bit longer. Nice Shockwave as well. However, Barracuda is going to finish him off right there with the Pulse. Now we're gonna see in the mid lane, we're gonna see Cats come out there. Weekend is going to go down to Andy, though. Andy's going to dash away. Mr. Mankey is going to kill Cyclones. Surrender Boat has started. Rather Terry going to come out there. Well, Kiki or not does go down, but the Titan does have a heart attack as Complexity says it's over. Just, you know, they knew that there was no longer a point as there were only 2 members left. 5 members of Fire Giant bearing down upon them.
It was a few moments away from defeat anyway, so they decided to just go ahead, call it a game. Good game Complexity at about 36 minutes in. 17-38 is the scoreline.
Indeed, it was. GG's overall. Congratulations to Cognitive, who are going to take this in 2-0. GG to Complexity. Congratulations on second place for them as well. And with that, I believe we'll be signing off. My name has been MTarget, and my co-caster has been Soza. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for the E-Tournament. Check out tiermonster.com for information on how to sign up for that one. And thank you all for watching. Have a good evening.